Good morning, guys. I am going to spend 10 minutes in the garden before I have to head off to work. The garden is definitely feeling a little overwhelming. I haven't given it as much attention and care as I normally do, so it's definitely a little overgrown. I just need to clean some of the overgrowth up and then get ready to finish the fall garden planting, hopefully when I get home from work tonight. Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes. Alright guys, well that was 10 minutes worth of work. I just got from right there to here, and I've got about that much more to go when I get home from work, and then we'll be ready to clean up all the beds and the walkways and finish planting the fall garden. So I just got home from work, ate a quick snack. I just don't have a whole lot of energy in me today, so I'm gonna go outside and see what I can knock out, but I don't know how far I'll actually make it before I just decide it's time to come in and get ready for bed. So we shall see how far we can get in the garden. I want to get paid. You just like doing work for free? Okay. I don't know. Go look. Well, it's not perfect, but it's a whole lot better than when we started. We actually have our walkway again. Now we just have to work on the individual beds and clean up all that mess. So, like I said, not feeling it tonight, so I'm pushing through. Sometimes that's what you have to do. So I'm going to see how far I can get. I've got to pick the peppers in this section and probably work on this bed over here, because that's not going to take that long, and we'll see how we feel after that. Well, that adventure was cut short. Winston's rope just broke and he ran off. So, on to the next adventure. Winston. Winston.
I'm gonna like go really fast and don't really.
Okay, it's a new day. I'm going out to the garden to see how much I can get knocked out before the sun goes down. I've got Jason Evan over helping the neighbor lady with her yard. Koa's off walking the dog. Amelia's in the shower, so we're just going to see what we can get knocked out while all the kids are calm. In other news, look how awesome that walkway looks. Weed free. You go take care of your ladies. So planted lettuce in 2 rows here. Way it's not competing with my peppers that are still growing. And then as I tear those out, I will maybe be able to get a couple more lettuce plants in there before it gets completely too cold. But for now, what I have planted here will suffice. Alright, Jace just texted me. They're ready to be picked up. So I'm done out here and I gotta go get them picked up from Mindy's. Good morning, guys. It's like a week later. Still have not gotten the garden finished. It's Saturday morning now. It's just been a really long week with work and school and kids. So unfortunately, the gardens had to take the back burner. So I'm gonna go outside and try and knock out the last like 2 hours of work that I have to finish that up. And I have worked hard. I've got to get the radishes planted and the bok choy, and then finish weeding the one tomato bed, and then it should be done. So we're gonna get that knocked out this morning. So I was going to try and make it out to the garden yesterday, but Amelia came home from school with a bunch of homework, so we ended up not making it out there before it got dark. It's the one bad thing about it getting dark early these days is by the time we get home, get dinner done, schoolwork done, and there's pretty much no daylight left to go outside and get things knocked out. And I always teach my kids work first, play later, so I help them get their work first done before they get to go play. So I kind of have to be inside and do my inside work to assist them with their inside work before anybody can go outside. So unfortunately with that system, it means that the garden takes the back burner. But while she was inside getting her homework done, I ended up getting 4 more jars of just chopped tomatoes canned. All you do with that is just for pints, you put in a tablespoon of lemon juice and then a teaspoon of canning salt, and you throw it in the canner for 85 minutes and you've got canned chopped tomatoes. And then I saw this Instagram post the other day from this gal called April Rise Farm, I think is the name of her channel. I'll have to look it up. I can tag her in the description below. And she posted this stuff called banana butter, which is like apple butter, but it's just made with bananas, sugar, some brown sugar, regular granulated sugar. I use unbleached, and then she used cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, and some salt, and then a quarter cup of lemon juice. For the number of jars that I had, I did a half recipe. But we put it on some sourdough bread yesterday, and it instantly makes your bread, like your regular everyday sandwich bread, taste like banana bread. So good. Highly recommend. This is my first time doing this, so as far as like shelf stability, I don't know how long it's good on the shelf for, but hopefully it's good for a long time. We buy a bunch of fruit at the store, so we always end up with some bananas that go bad. And nobody wants to eat them, and you can only eat so much banana bread and only freeze so much banana bread. So if this truly does work, this is an awesome option for breakfast ideas, and if you like brunch, or if you like breakfast for dinner, which is a family favorite in my house, awesome choice for that. So highly recommend. Alright, so the chickens have been let out. I sometimes take Winston in there with me so that he can do his morning pee, typically around the fence line. I find that when I take him in there, it helps deter predators. So, kind of puts his scent in there. I have only had issues with raccoons, and that was like a month
or two ago, and they were only going in there for the feed at night that I would leave out. So now I have to put it in that hardware cloth cage that I have in there that was the original coop for the chickens. So it seems to be helping. I've not had any issues with raccoons here lately. So every once in a while, rather than just putting him outside on his rope, I'll put his harness on him and take him out there with me and just kind of let him walk around and pee and do his thing. He does not bother my chickens. I'm very lucky in regards to that. I think he knows that they're also my pets, so he honestly looks after them when we're out there with them. So it's fun to have a dog like that I don't have to worry about him attacking or eating one of my birds. So for this morning, I'm going to finish drinking my coffee, sit down, and mentally go through my garden one more time. And then I'm going to pull my seed box out, just double check everything, make sure there's nothing that I'm missing. I know I've got like carrots and other things that I thought about planting again. So just go through that one more time, have a solid plan. I think I'm going to rip out some of my struggling tomato plants. They kind of made a rebound, but we're probably 5 weeks out. No, we're less than that. No, we're about 5 weeks out from our first frost. So I don't foresee them making that big of a comeback. And honestly, I'm getting tired, so I think I'll just let the plants that I have out there that are still flourishing go and rip out the ones that are riding the struggle bus a little bit and just let them take a nice rest for the winter. They deserved it. So that is the plan of attack: carrots, radishes, and bok choy. So as soon as I'm done with my coffee, that is where we will head. Alright, got the laundry switched over. Got a little bit of this video edited. Trying to edit it as I go. That way I don't have a bunch to do at the end. And at this point, I'm ready to go outside. I've got about 2.5 hours to work before we gotta go pick up the 3 boys. They went off to a spiritual retreat for school, so gotta go pick them up here this afternoon. So gonna try and knock out the rest of the garden before I have to go. That way when I get home I can work on making bread, and gotta go grocery shopping. So hopefully I can get this knocked out. That way I can focus on other tasks later this afternoon. So let's go. Is it so good? Yes. Daisy, do you like the cantaloupe? Lorenzo, calm down. Like, look. What are you doing, guy? Yeah. Lorenzo!
Renzo.
So here's the walkway still. Very little weeds. I think I'm gonna quickly go through this at the very end with the hoe and just kind of tidy it up. Definitely have to work on getting my line over here, like what I got going on over here. Just kind of neaten it up a little bit, but other than that, it's doing good. These are the tomato plants that I'm talking about right here. They're trying to bounce back, but I just don't think that they're going to make it. So I'm going to go ahead and rip those ones out and then make room for the radishes and the bok choy. I think I'm going to do a couple rows of bok choy and a couple rows of radishes. And then, yeah, just finishing up, tidying up all the beds and all the spaces. So I'm going to get that knocked out. Okay, so that bed has been weeded, smoothed down, weeded the walkway. So that part's done. Next, I'm going to pick those cherry tomatoes, pick whatever needs picked on these ones. That one, my trellis fell over. I won't be using these systems right here. I got them on Amazon. They're not worth the effort to even put them up. However, I do think that they will work really well for my cabbages that are coming up. So I do think I'm going to try and utilize them for that. Maybe kind of like do a zigzag pattern with them. So we're going to test that theory out there. I will say that I got this idea from Jessica Sowards.
on a Roots and Refuge, and I have to say next year I will be utilizing that trellis system for tomatoes. It's awesome. Wind doesn't take it down, the tomatoes don't take it down. I've even tried these square systems where they like link. They're okay, they work better than these things. However, just as far as stability and holding up to the elements, definitely the way to go. I just used the 2x4 fencing and 2 T-posts, stick them in the ground, hook them up with the T-post claws. I don't know what they're called. They're the triangle devices that hold the fencing onto the T-post, and you just kind of feed the tomatoes up through the fencing as it grows, and it is by far the best system for tomato trellises. So highly recommend that system for tomatoes. So with that being said, I'm going to get the tomatoes picked in this bed, and then I'm going to get the bok choy and the radishes planted here. I wish I had another bed to utilize. My family loves radishes and bok choy, so definitely want to plant a little extra. So I might try and sprinkle a few more patches here and there throughout the garden. I definitely know I can get some more in where the peppers are. So we're just going to kind of work through that and figure out next plan of attack for getting even more planted in the garden and utilizing every inch of garden space that I have. Alright, so we did a very aggressive prune on this guy. I kind of just wanted to focus on finishing, maturing what's on there. That way in a couple of weeks when growing season is over, I just pull the plant out, and then I'll end up getting 2, 4, 6, 8, like 20 more tomatoes on that plant, and then that'll pretty much be the end of the growing season. So I'm just going to go through, do the same thing on all the other tomato plants. The only one I can't really do anything with is the trellis that fell over, so we're just going to let that one go until it doesn't go anymore, and then we're just going to rip that one out of the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and prune up the rest of them, and then we'll get on to planting the bok choy and the radishes. what was supposed to be like 40 bok choy plants turned into 200 bok choy plants. My foot accidentally hit the seed packet and spilled it all in the dirt. So we just took it and spread it out amongst the rows, and whatever germinates, germinates. Whatever doesn't. So I guess we'll end up with bok choy microgreens. Who knows? Wins and fails of the garden. Onto the radishes. Okay, so my life gets more chaotic by the second. I have to go pick up children by 12:15, 12:30. So it took me all morning to accomplish this one bed. So when I get back, I don't have that much more to do. It's just tidying up the beds that have already been done and watering everything. And then everything's planted, the bok choy, the radishes. Last thing I wanted to get planted were some carrots. So I just need to clean up a couple more beds to get some carrots in. And then finish picking the peppers, the tomatoes. And I think that's all that needed to be harvested. Yep. Peppers and tomatoes. And then the garden is officially caught up and ready for fall. Yes. So radishes are planted here. I've got 3 rows of excessive bok choy thanks to my lack of planning. I don't know why today was so stressful in the garden this morning. There's no children, no husband. So not quite certain on that one. But anywho, like I said, when I get back, I just need to tidy up over there where I planted the cabbages. I planted Swiss chard right here, but I don't think it's getting enough sun due to the celery. So I need to figure out what to do with that. I think I just need to pick it, and then I don't have enough time to plant fresh, so we'll just start celery again in the spring, so clean up those beds, and then I think I'm going to get some carrots planted there, clean up the cucumbers, and that should be that for the garden. Alright, well, today took a turn of events. After I left here, I went to go pick up the boys. Then I had to go pick up my husband in his water truck. Then we had to drop them off to their mom's house. And then we decided to go run a couple errands. Our espresso machine is kind of biting the dust, so we went to pick up a new one of those. And then went shopping to get some clothes for family pictures coming up next weekend. So kind of got that halfway done. We'll have to finish that up sometime this week. I still need to find 3 shirts for the boys for family pictures. So with that being said, I am going to pick the tomatoes and the peppers and see if I can get everything watered. And then we'll have to come out here and finish everything up one night this week. So let's get that knocked out. Okay, well, I still didn't get it done. I still have peppers to pick and this last bed and aisle to clean up the edges and the aisleway. Go down the middle again, just kind of fine tune that, and then everything should be done. The last thing I have to do is plant carrots, but if that doesn't get done this weekend, then that will be fine. So hopefully I can get it knocked out tomorrow. I forgot I had a wedding to go to in the morning. So hopefully after church and the wedding, I can get the garden knocked out and really cross this one off my list for the next week or so. So fingers crossed I can knock it out tomorrow. But for now, I gotta go put chickens away and feed the kid. One, two, three, 4 eggs today. That's a light day. Good day we get about 7 to 8. So I only had about half laid. It's like a week and a half later. I'm just now making it back out to the garden. I am determined that I'm going to get this portion knocked out and move on with life. So let's get this garden knocked out. I have milk going inside right now, just slightly pasteurizing it a little bit. So as soon as that beeps, I've got to go in and resolve that. But for now, I'm going to see how much peppers I can get picked and just kind of tidy up the last little bit. And we're going to call this garden fall, or clean out the garden for fall crops project complete. So let's get this knocked out. All right, took care of the milk, first batch, do 2 gallons, and I'm gonna finish picking the peppers here, clean up those last couple of beds, double check the tomatoes. Then I'm gonna try and hit the walkway one more time, and I think we're good for the rest of this week. Alright, I tried to hoe in between the cabbage rows. However, the dirt is a little too wet. It's been raining off and on the past couple of days, which I'm not complaining about. It just makes cleaning up in between rows a little more difficult because all the dirt's wanting to stick, and I'm afraid I'm going to rip up the cabbage. My germination rate did not do so well, so I think I'm gonna have to come out here with the seed packet and plant a couple more seeds, kind of fill in the gaps. And by gaps, I mean a lot of gaps. Get that filled in, and then I'm going to try and get everything staked up. That way nobody steps on anything. So I'm going to knock that out. Pick the tomatoes over here in this bed. And then I think I'm going to call it. The walkway is just a little too wet. Everything's just clumping. So I think I'll come back out here at a later date. Just kind of run the hoe down the aisleway, and that should be good. So knock this out and then head inside and get some cooking done. It is done. I obviously will have to come through once the ground dries up a little bit and clean up the rest of the small weeds. As you can see, the dirt is just clumping up as I'm trying to weed, so it's just not productive to do it right now. All the tomatoes are picked. These ones on this plant are starting to turn red after I pruned up all the dead off of it. So I'm going to get a couple more off of that one. The one back here is not doing so well, so I don't know if I'm going to get any more off of it. This one here that went kind of rogue, it's still producing some. I think it's pretty much on its last leg. Don't know how much more I'm going to get off of that one. Same with this one. So just kind of nursing them along till the cold gets them. I don't see, actually, yes I do. Got some little bok choys starting up here. So we'll see what we end up with. We're gonna end up with a lot. Same thing over here with the radishes. I've got some little radish. Here's a good one. Some radishes coming up, so definitely going to get a lot of yield. I had success with that. Celery, I need to harvest ahead there. I don't have any Swiss chard coming up that I can see. I think that's him. Yes. The dog's losing his mind, so excuse him. I didn't have any Swiss chard come up, so I'm going to have to replant. I think the tomato and the celery is kind of choking it out, so definitely going to have to find a new location. I'm thinking right here in this row, try some Swiss chard there. Let's see here. I did end up with some Brussels sprouts coming up. Let me see here. Here's one right here. Some Brussels sprouts coming up, so those will get big here soon. Got all the peppers picked. I didn't see any lettuce come up yet, but we'll see. I've got some little greens right here, so those may be it. It's not quite in the row, but you never know. So it's either a weed or lettuce, so we'll figure it out. But yeah, at this point, garden is cleaned up. I'll have to come back out and do the walkway once the ground dries up a little more. This area here is Amelia's stuff, so she's gonna have to come out and help me tidy that up. So we'll do that when she gets back. But yeah, the garden is officially done. So just want to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.